Hey guys, today I will try to briefly tell about all the features of crafting in Season 11 of Diablo 4. From getting an item to its final form, I will guide you new off. Thanks in advance for the like and subscription. I'll tell everything with examples. Let's go. Blizzard changed all legendary items for us, and now they have not 3 but 4 stats. At the same time, tempering at the blacksmith is 1, and now getting the needed one is guaranteed. Nothing has changed at the occultist. Let's go through examples of several items: mythic, unique, and legendary. First, mythic items. If you have a problem with them, just watch the previous video and questions will disappear. The reality of Season 11 is such that the items themselves, whether mythics or legendaries, are not a problem. The problem is to get the needed sanctification at the final stage, after which the item cannot be changed. The first step with mythics is to make sure the items have sockets. You won't be able to add them after sanctification. Made sockets and went to the blacksmith, where we do masterworking of each item up to the 25th quality. The required amount of resources for masterworking is shown on the left for each iteration. Improving quality raises the item's quality. Each rank of quality improvement increases the base characteristics and all properties of the item. Masterworked the 25th time and got one random property with a Greater Affix, that is plus 50%. This GA property can be changed to any other. It costs 200 obducite and 1 unit of Neathyron. The number of attempts to change the GA is limited only by the availability of resources. Obducite in the current season is trash. Watch the previous video. Neathyron is also enough to craft about 40 items per day. My gaming day lasts about 6 hours. If you have a question about a specific resource, just hover your mouse over it in the Resources tab. It's written there where it drops. So, got the GA in the stat you need and went to the Heavenly Forge, where we inserted the item into the slot. Attention, after sanctification the item cannot be changed. You can only change gems or runes in the sockets. Didn't make sockets, left without runes. Sanctification costs 1 unit of Seal of Sanctification, which drop everywhere in huge quantities. That's also simple for mythics. Now about unique items. Everything is exactly the same. I will repeat the sequence to reinforce it. Make the socket, upgrade to rank 25, sanctify. Mark it as favorite or as junk. This is important because you will be crafting in batches. I strongly recommend crafting only items of one type in a single session. This helps avoid confusion. The third option is the most extensive: legendary items. In addition to the previous steps, a few more are required. We take an item for crafting. Make sure it has a socket. If the item can have 2 sockets, make 2. Go to the occultist. Put the needed aspect. The aspect can be found either by its name or by any fragment from its description. If these are several items, put the aspect on all of them one by one. Then go to the last tab, where we perform the necessary manipulations to get the desired stat. All available options for each stat are available after clicking on this icon. This procedure can be performed an unlimited number of times, but with each new attempt the price in gold increases. Regular stats are easy to get. Stats for +2 or 3 to some skill, if we are trying to get them, take longer. In the current season, the issue is not the cost, gold drops in huge amounts, but the tediousness of rolling the desired stat on a large number of items, especially when the needed stats are skill bonuses. After getting the needed stat, we go to the blacksmith. First, we get tempering in the second to last tab. The procedure is simple but somewhat inconvenient due to the large number of possible tempering variations. We look and find the desired one and click. It costs a small amount of resources, which are still shown for each action on the left. We can temper as many times as we want. If desired, you can roll until getting the tempered property with a Greater Affix. I got it on the first try, but usually it requires 5+ rolls. If the attempts are over and the GA on the tempered property did not drop, then you can add attempts by adding scrolls of restoration. Attempts can continue until the scrolls run out. Usually the chance for GA is about 20%. These scrolls now drop not only in Infernal Hordes in the Citadel, but also in the Pit, Nightmare Dungeons, and Kurast. Next, go to the last tab and increase the quality to 25 as described above. Once we got the needed tempering and masterworking, we go to the Heavenly Forge. Insert it into the slot and check if everything is done. Sockets, aspect, tempering, masterworking to 25. Then perform the irreversible action. Sanctify and receive some random property. Mark as junk or as something worthy for comparison immediately. Develop a sequence of actions, otherwise you will sanctify items without sockets, tempering, or masterworking. Messed up several items. Not a problem. I personally messed up several dozen at the beginning. I am still wearing an amulet without a socket. How to compare items? Feelings are unreliable here. First method, go to the training dummy and look at damage numbers. This is for damage. For defense, check the toughness value in your profile and or the damage reduction values by type in the statistics tab. The third method is testing in the pit at a specific level with one item and then with another. You need at least 10 runs because monsters on the same pit level vary greatly. They have different armor values, different elemental resistances, and different health pools. One more detail. Many people think an item's value is determined by the number of greater affixes on it. In Season 11, this is not true, or only partially true. The biggest contribution to item power this season comes from affixes obtained through Sanctification. I am showing my own items, but they are far from the strongest. For example, these mythic affixes can be obtained as additional affixes directly on mythic items. Even two identical such affixes on one item will work. Alternatively, these mythic affixes can be obtained on another unique or legendary item. They will also work even if the mythic items themselves are already equipped. What I do not know is whether such mythic affixes will work on 3 items at the same time. With legendary affixes, the situation is different. If 2 identical normal legendary affixes are duplicated on any items, only one works. The active one is the affix with the highest value. Yes, this was the case before as well, but now we are talking about a second legendary affix obtained from Sanctification. According to Blizzard, the current crafting mechanics are introduced on a permanent basis. All stages except Sanctification are new crafting mechanics. Sanctification, the final step that makes items unchangeable, is a Season 11 only mechanic. That is the theory and the developers' statements. But in my opinion, we are currently going through a global beta of the crafting system. I will explain. With the release of the new expansion in mid-April 2026, we are getting a new skill tree system. I doubt that affixes available for rolling at the occultist and tempering properties at the blacksmith will simply be expanded. I think crafting will change, but not conceptually, but in details. I do not believe all current crafting steps will remain unchanged. Remove seasonal Sanctification with its huge variability, and crafting, meaning rolling top values, becomes a routine event. That cannot be the case. So either crafting variability will be expanded or Sanctification will remain in some form. And while the community continues to guess what the new hero will be, Amazon or Witch Doctor from Diablo 3, or maybe it will be a mix of Amazon and Witch Doctor, or maybe it will be an alien. Personally, I don't care. What will be, will be. I don't want to guess. I prefer numbers and measurable parameters. That seems to be all about crafting. I hope I didn't forget anything. If I forgot, write a comment. If I didn't forget, write, what a great guy I am. If you suddenly want to support financially, I will be grateful for sponsorship. Thanks for watching. Bye.